Why didn't this trade work? Why am I losing my fixed deposit? And why is this trader succeeding with the same strategy while I am falling? Are common. I hear this question countless times every day from different people, so I decided it's time to address this. Most of the reasons for unsuccessful trading stem from the same common mistakes. In this video, I'll be discussing these mistakes. Ready? Let's go! Here are the top 9 things that are preventing you from trading profitably. Mistake number 1. Messy chart. I call the first mistake messy chart. Imagine a mess in your room or workplace. Things are scattered everywhere and you can't find anything. Now imagine a similar mess on your trading terminal. Many traders create a chaotic mess by overloading their charts with indicators. Here's what I mean. Many indicators give excellent signal and help you trade profitably if you recognize these signals in time and act on them. But what if you add 2 indicators, then 3, then 5 more? This can go endlessly, resulting in cluttered chart where you can't even see the asset's price. How does it sound to you? It might seem cool and professional, but it's not. It's foolish and ineffective. In trading, the price on the chart is the most important thing for us, and a bunch of indicators just obscure it. An indicator is just an addition. 1 or 2 are enough to get great signals and trade profitably. Don't turn your chart into a garbage dump. For more on how to properly use indicators, check out my Telegram channel, where I share a lot of useful tips. The link is in the description. Mistake number 2. Trading on emotions. The second mistake is trading on emotions. Have you ever seen roulette players? They have eyes like a madman. They bet an amount, lose but even more lose again, and keep going until they run out of money. Traders often get emotional and turn trading options into a roulette game. After the first loss, we want to get their money back, leading to a series of impulsive trades without technical analysis or signals, just based on emotions. You know what awaits these people in the end? Empty pockets and disappointment. How to stop? How not to trade on emotions? There are no specific rules to help with this. It's like smoking, drinking, or dieting. To quit smoking, you need self-control. To lose weight, you need to control yourself. Overcoming emotions in trading is a real battle where you must take control, or you'll be out of the market. Still, I'll give you one rule. If you feel nervous, angry, or facing losses, stop. Turn off the trading terminal and take a walk, meet friends, or talk to family. Come back when you feel you won't have a heart attack over another failure. Mistake number 3. Copying other strategies. The next big mistake is copying other people's strategies. No, I'm not saying you shouldn't use someone else's method in trading. The problem is dependency on other strategies. If you don't understand the market at all and see a successful trader, there is nothing wrong with adapting their trading method, but the danger lies in becoming trapped. Someone might take a strategy and trade it without understanding the essence of trading, how and why things works, and why an indicator gives certain signals. The problem is that you might end up copying a losing strategy and just waste all your money. When copying a strategy, don't forget to study it. What indicator is used? How is it calculated? Why should you enter at this signal? In other words, ask questions about strategy. This way you'll not only copy it, but understand how it works and be able to improve it. I can help you with this. Follow the link in the description to my trading academy, where you'll get really profitable strategies, learn how to adapt them for yourself, and if anything is unclear, you can always reach out to me for support. Mistake number 4. Trading without a plan. The 4th fatal mistake for a trader is trading without a plan. Imagine you got a job as a truck driver. On your first day, they load you with goods and tell you to deliver them to another city, but don't give you the address or the warehouse name. Would you go? I think not. You'd start asking for the address, the warehouse name, and other necessary documents. That's the right thing to do. Otherwise, you would get lost. So, why do many people in trading act like the truck driver who doesn't know the destination but still heads somewhere? They see that binary options can be profitable, open an account, and just start trading without fully understanding how the market works. When they wonder why their deposit quickly goes to zero, the first thing you need to do when learning trading is to write a trading plan. This plan should include your strategy, trading goals, the times when you will trade, and even the amount you will use for each trade. Believe me, a trading plan will help you earn as much as a professional trader who tells you when to click the right button. Mistake number 5. Entering trades too late. The fifth mistake is entering trades too late. Have you ever tried to jump onto a moving train? It's not advisable, you could break your legs. But for some reason, people in binary options persistently and regularly make this mistake. They see a signal from their strategy too late but think, I'll still enter the trade, not all is lost. I don't understand why they do that. The market isn't going anywhere. There will be more signals and the price will continue to move as long as currencies, stocks and commodities are traded in banks and on exchanges. My advice: if you miss a good entry, wait for the next one. It will come in 5, 10 or 30 minutes and it will likely bring you profit more reliably than the signal you saw too late. In short, wait for the next train and keep your legs intact. If you are not yet accustomed to the market and for this reason don't immediately recognize if you should open an option, check out my Telegram channel. There is a lot of content to help you master trading, recognize the best entry points, and not be late. The link is in the description. Mistake number 6. Sticking to one strategy. The next thing that can hinder profitable trading is clinging to one strategy and being afraid to switch to something else. Constantly using and improving one thing is great, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm referring to traders who take a strategy and stick to it for a long time without changing anything, as if afraid to break it. There are 2 reasons why this is bad and will eventually lead to losses. The first reason is that the market changes, and what was relevant for an uptrend, for example, will give false signals in sideways market. If you use moving average crossovers for trend trading, you'll go break with this strategy in sideways market. A strategy needs to be flexible and adaptable to any market conditions, which means it needs to be refined or you need to use 2 or 3 different trading methods with different types of signals. Mistake number 7. Changing strategies too often. There is an opposite mistake to the previous one. Changing strategies too often. A beginner sees a profitable trading method from one blogger, starts trading the same way but doesn't succeed much. Then they go to another blogger and copy their strategy, but the result is still disappointing. So the trader jumps from one method to another until they lose all the money and leave the market disheartened. This will 100% happen to you if you do the same. The problem isn't the strategist, but the desire to use everything at once. There is a saying, dogs that chase many hares catch none. It perfectly fits these cases. There are no bad strategies, only poorly executed ones. If one person can make money with the method, another can too, provided they carefully study all the conditions for entering a trade. As for how many strategies to use, I think 2 or 3 are enough to get plenty of signals and trade effectively. Mistake number 8. Impulsive trading. The next mistake that wipes out money traders' deposits is impulsive trading. This is similar to emotional trading but has slightly different causes. Impulsive entries occur when a trader enters a trade not because of good analysis, but because they are in a hurry or afraid of missing out. These traders are said to trade on intuition. In other words, they behave like psychics with crystal ball. They don't use technical or fundamental analysis, they just enter the market when they feel it's right. If there were even one psychic in trading, they'd be a billionaire, but such people don't exist. Maybe Ray Dalio or Mike Platt, who earn hundreds of millions of dollars from trading, use tarot cards or hear inner voices, but I highly doubt it. The only crystal ball we can rely on is thorough chart and market analysis. Anything else will lead to losses. If you agree, like, subscribe, and let's move on. Mistake number 9. Lack of patience. Finally, the 9th and last mistake is lack of patience. Remember we talked about people who enter the market very late? Well, some people do the opposite. They don't wait for signals because they are in too much of a hurry to make money, but end up losing because there is often no signal after they enter. This also relates to the emotional side and is considered one of the most difficult problems. Patience is hard to develop but essential for trading. It's easy and quick to develop a strategy, study technical analysis and understand the market, but gaining patience without support is very challenging. If you want to become a successful trader without anyone's help, it can take years. Have you ever tried to learn a profession on your own? I think only 1% of the world's population can do that. But if you do it in institute courses or an online school, it becomes much easier. In trading, it's the same. For great results and speed, you need to be part of trading community. I have such community. There you can work on your patience, find lots of trading materials and get full support. Agree? It's much easier this way. You can join through the link in the description. Now you have 9 commandments. Follow them and you might become one of the most successful binary options traders. Yes, some of these mistakes are hard to fix, but if you want to, nothing will be impossible for you. Treat this list of 9 points as work tasks that need to be done every day for a good reward. Because in the end, you'll handle it and be rewarded with the superpower many dream of, the ability to trade profitably. And I'll help you with this, because I know how hard it can be to manage emotions, or be organized, or anything else. In any case, the main thing is to believe you can do it. For example, I believe you can if you want to. That's all for today. I wish you success in trading, learning trading, and having a great mood. See you in the next episode.